Hello, welcome back to VIP in the DMV. I'm LaVita Weaver. I'm so excited about this program, Value, Identity, and Purpose. You guys all heard the saying, big things come in small packages. Well, I have a special guest, Arie Baker Fox. She's about 5 foot tall, y'all, a couple of inches shorter than me, and she's doing some big and amazing things in our community to help keep youth safe and adults safe from gun accidents. So Arie, welcome on VIP in the DMV.
Thank you for having me.
And so I'm so excited to have you. You and I, we were talking last year, right, about you coming on the program.
Right.
But this is a perfect time because even recently, I've recently heard of some accidents with guns,
Yes.
particularly with children and our youth. And although a lot of times people don't want to talk about it, the reality is guns are a very real part of our society today.
Right.
And with that in mind, I normally don't keep questions, you guys, but I'm gonna be real. This is so important to me that I actually wrote down some questions because we need to know these important points about guns, right?
Right.
So why did you become a gun instructor?
Okay, well, first, again, thanks for having me. So I've been a gun owner for over 15, almost 17 years now. And so I had a permit to keep a gun in my home. When it became legal to carry concealed in the state of Maryland, I went ahead and looked into getting my permit simply because I'm married to law enforcement, and I always make the joke about my husband going through the skinny jeans era. And so there were times where he couldn't conceal and it would be in my purse. And just for everything to be on the up and up and be safe, I said, let me go ahead and get a permit for just in case. And then as that went on, you know, I've carried on my own, and then I got into it and started teaching.
Wow, wow, wow. So one of the things you and I talked about, why do you think, you know, it's different from a woman's perspective? Like how is being a woman, and you're a trainer.
Correct. So as a woman, from a woman's perspective, I think that it's different because you don't look at a woman, you know, unfortunately or fortunately, women are seen as the weaker sex, right? And so if something were to happen, if in a situation with a man and a woman, they would most likely attack the man because they think that is the bigger challenge versus a smaller petite female like myself. What I love about being a female that carries is you can't look at me and expect that, oh, she's carrying concealed or she has it on her or in her purse or what have you, because you don't expect it. You look at a woman with wearing nails or wearing heels or what have you.
And you have nails right now.
Yeah.
Does that affect your ability to
Not at all, because
practice?
you know, practicing and training, you get used to it. These are actually shorter nails than usual. So, but you learn to maneuver through things, and then, like I said, with practice and training, you figure it out. You get better with it. You learn how to release your magazine, how to load your magazine, how to lock the slide back, and everything with the nails on.
And one of the important things, one of the reasons why I really wanted you on the show as well, of course, you know, you're an instructor, but we want to talk about safety because so many times, you know, you and I were talking, and there was a time, because you have a daughter, I have daughters, and there was a time when we were concerned about people, you know, our daughters going over, spending the night,
right,
you know, for their safety. So now you got to be concerned about if there's guns in the house.
Definitely.
So let's talk about gun safety.
Okay, well, like you said, I grew up in a generation where we weren't spending the night at our friend's house, and we try to, you know, do better than our parents. So even when my child was younger and she wanted to go spend, or her friends were having slumber parties, I wasn't comfortable with that. So I would let her spend the evening, but I would pick her up at a certain hour, say 11:30 or 12 o'clock. You could enjoy some festivities and go home, because I don't know the people in that house, right? So same thing as you don't know if these people own guns.
Say that again. Somebody needs to hear that.
No, you don't know if your child's friend's most parents are gun owners. It's not something they advertise. They don't have a sign in their yard that says proud gun owner or what have you. So it's okay to ask these questions. If you don't feel comfortable asking an individual if they have guns in their house, then you shouldn't feel comfortable sending your child there.
So in other words, we should, as parents or grandparents, if our kids are going to go and spend the night over someone's house, we should ask the homeowner, are there guns in the home?
Are there guns in the home? I need to know because I want my child to come back home, right?
Wow.
And also, you have to listen. Sometimes you don't even have to ask. You listen to what your children say. You hear the things that your children are talking about. Oh, my friend Sally's dad is angry and he da-da-da, or whatever you hear.
Yeah.
And those are sometimes context clues to let you know what type of environment that is, which would either make you want to ask the question more or just not have your child go over there.
And there's a lot of people, like you said, I know for a fact, they don't advertise they have guns. You know, I know people who have guns, we just don't talk about it.
Right.
And so with that in mind, if someone is a gun owner, tell me how they should keep that gun safe from children.
Well, safety first, right? So, for example, you should always keep in the home, your gun should be secured in something that's locked. It could be a gun case, a small gun case that's either under your bed or in the drawer. You might have a bigger gun case that can hold multiple guns in it. You might even have it with a cable, what's called a gun cable lock, which actually goes through the magazine and out of the top of the gun, and you lock it, secure it with the key.
Okay.
Either way, the gun should be locked and stored away out of reach of children. If you have children in your home, you need to make sure that you are talking to them about these important things. You know not to touch it, know not to use it. When you see a gun, what do you do?
Oh, that's a good point. So you're saying if you are a parent and you have a gun,
right,
you should let your child know that you have a gun?
Right, and know that not to touch it. You know, they not to necessarily know where you store it, but you know, teach them the do's and don'ts. So if you see a gun, you're not supposed to touch it. If you see a gun in the house, maybe you let mom and dad know, hey, I saw this or I found this or what have you. That shouldn't even be the case because as a well-informed gun owner, you would know to secure your gun safely out of reach of your children or of any guest in your home for that matter, because as a gun owner, you are responsible for every round that is dispensed from that handgun.
So there was a recent story, and that's one of the reasons why I invited you on this particular episode, a recent story where some kids came across a gun, the gun fired, and one of the kids actually passed away.
Sorry.
And so with that in mind, why do you think it's so easy for these guns to just go off like that? Like, what's happening that I'm hearing these stories repeatedly across the nation?
I don't think that it's easy for the gun to go off. I always say, you know, Whitney Houston says, I didn't know my own strength.
Okay.
So at times you don't know how much pressure it takes to pull the trigger on a handgun. You don't know what, you know, just by trying to catch a falling gun that you could even actually make it go off because your finger could get caught up in it. If you had a falling gun and you're trying to catch a gun, imagine now the butt of the gun where the magazine and the ammunition is much heavier, so the gun is going to automatically turn up, so where the muzzle is facing up, and you're trying to catch it. When you're trying to catch it, you're leaning over, right? And if your fingers have a mind of their own half the time, your finger could get caught up in that trigger well, and you accidentally hit the trigger and end up shooting yourself.
Wow.
So it's about, but like, if you don't know anything about guns, you shouldn't be touching them. And so even with the courses I teach.
I want to repeat that. Arie, you heard it from her. If you don't know anything about guns, what?
You shouldn't be touching
them.
It's not a toy. And that's what happens when you see a lot of these young people, young children getting hurt with guns, because they think, oh, this is a gun similar to my Nerf gun or to what I've seen on TV or in the video games. But this is something, live and hot is what I'd say.
Let me ask you this. I was doing some reading, and there was something out there saying that, you know, like children who grow up with guns, like say in the country, for instance, have less gun accidents than children who grow up in the city. I mean, what do you think about that, or why do you think that could be possible?
I think it's more about the training that they receive. So imagine as a young person growing up in a rural area or in the South or on a farm or what have you, and part of your upbringing is learning how to hunt and how to fish and how to gather, right? So you are taught from a young age how to shoot a rifle or how to shoot a handgun, how to hunt. These kids are taught these things. unfortunately, in more urban environments, it is my opinion that is that they're not taught these things. They're not. You think about it. We don't have these gun safety classes in school,
Wow.
right? There are not too many of our youth in the inner city youth are participating in Eagle Scouts or something like that that's teaching them these outdoor activities. So they only know what they're exposed to. So if all I know is what I'm seeing on TV and movie screens and things of that sort, then I'm going to believe what I see. I don't have the practice. So you know, even I'll say this, in teaching in my class, when I take students to the range, I find a lot of time when it's younger people, I've seen people want to hold the gun sideways because that's what you saw them doing in the movie.
Oh.
And I'm like, what are we doing
So
here? Come on,
emulating
Nino Brown.
movies.
Yeah, I'm like,
Okay.
come on.
That's funny.
So, you know, it's because they're replicating what they see.
Right.
And just like children replicate what they see. So
Yeah,
if the
that's
child
good,
sees
that's
their,
good.
their parents acting as informed, educated, and cautious adults when it comes to handguns, then they would replicate that as well.
I mean, I laugh. It's not funny, but I laugh because we were talking earlier. I'm a former police officer.
Right.
So when I handle a gun, like, you know, you was talking about how if you handle guns before, you naturally know how to handle the gun.
Right.
And I never thought about the fact that if someone never handled a gun, that they would actually emulate what they see on television. That just
Exactly.
never crossed my mind.
Yes, for example, you would know not to put your finger on the trigger
Nope.
until you're ready to shoot. But you don't see that in TV. I always tell people, when you take these type of educational courses, it's to tell you, I teach concealed carry,
Right.
but it's not about for you to get the permit. It's so much that goes behind it. You need to have all of this knowledge to make sure that you are ready to carry concealed or just to own a handgun, period. So think about it. You would know, like I said, you would know not to put your finger on the trigger until you're ready to shoot. When you see this on TV, you don't do that. I've had this conversation with many students because I do it myself. My husband and I can sit here and watch TV and point out what's wrong in the film when they're holding a gun. Like, you notice how he just, aimed, his gun just crossed path with one of his teammates or another police officer or what have you, because it's TV. They're not thinking, right?
Yeah.
So it's all of these things combined, and having this knowledge is that what prepares you to be a safe, conscientious gun owner.
So let's talk about the Maryland gun laws right now.
Okay.
What they are, potentially what you want to share, and how have they changed?
Well, so concealed carry became legal in October of 2023.
Okay.
And so what that means is that, so we always had a permit to own a gun in Maryland. You had to still take a course, get your fingerprints, do the background check, wait a 7-day waiting period, purchase your handgun, and you'd be able to keep that handgun in your home for your safety and protection. If you needed to transport that gun, let's say you wanted to go to the range and do some practicing, you had to have it secured and in a trunk, closed in, magazine separate from the gun, and what have you. With a concealed carry permit, what that does is allow you as an individual to carry the gun on your body or off body, maybe in a purse or a crossbody bag or what have you, and allow you to carry a certain amount of ammunition, and that'll for your safety and protection again. Now there are certain laws. So for example, if you are carrying a concealed carry permit, you should not be drinking.
Oh, that's
Right?
real good. I think we need to say that again.
No, definitely, because
Yeah.
your judgment is a little bit altered when you've been drinking. So
Yeah.
you shouldn't be carrying that. So it's not allowed in bars, for example. You could actually have well, let me say it's not allowed if you're drinking in a bar, right?
Okay.
What else? There's also, you talk about the difference in between, because we live in this area, the DMV,
The
DC,
DMV.
Maryland, and Virginia.
Exactly.
They all have their own separate rules. So for example, Virginia is an open carry state, whereas Maryland is not.
Just let people know, what is the open carry state?
Meaning you can carry outside on your hip, it could be exposed.
So it can be exposed.
Yes.
Okay.
Pause that. I'm sorry. I was thinking of DC. In DC, you only can carry, you have to have, the gun has to be registered, versus in Maryland, you have to have a permit to carry a gun. So as long as I owned a gun, I can choose to carry this gun today and another gun tomorrow, depending on what fits what I'm wearing, to make sure that it's concealed. But in DC, that particular gun and its serial number has to be registered to your name in order for you to carry it concealed in DC.
Wow.
Right? And then
So do you find most people, are they getting like multiple licenses, or how does that work?
Yes,
Is
they
it one
do.
license you can get for all, or? Let's talk
Unfortunately,
about
no. Right now, there's no what we call national
Universal,
reciprocity.
yeah.
So there is some reciprocity amongst different states, right? So a Maryland license might cover you in a handful of states here, but it doesn't cover DC. DC, I guess because it's a district and it's federal land, they have their own rules, so no other state's gun license is respected in DC. Now, when you see people come into this class, they can take Maryland, DC, Virginia, get all of these permits. Some people would like to get another state such as Florida or Arizona, or even a state like Utah. Utah's gun permit has reciprocity across 32 states.
32 states?
Yes, but that's for somebody, if you know, in my opinion, if you know that you're traveling a lot through various states and you don't want to have to figure out, well, which license do I have, or does it cover this? A license like that would cover that if you're traveling with your handgun. Right?
Right. So we were talking about that. So with that in mind, what type of people tend to take your class? I'm just curious, are they women, men, and age groups?
I have a mixture of as young as 22, 23 years old, and my oldest student was in her 60s, I want to say about 67. So I have a mixture of male and female, a mixture of different work backgrounds as well. So for example, I've had realtors take my class. I've had retired personnel, not so much police, but just individuals take the class. I've had moms, coaches, all kind of different participants.
Wow. That's awesome. And with that in mind, what is the reason legally to use your weapon based on your teaching and training?
So I would say the most reason, anytime you dispense your weapon, think about this. In a court of your own peers, where they say that you had no other resort than to shoot this gun. They look at, did you provoke these type of things? Did you start a fight and then realize you couldn't win the fight, so now you want to pull out your gun and it's no longer a fair fight, right? So for example, if you are backed into a wall where you have nowhere else to go or nothing else to do to protect yourself or a loved one, maybe your child or your parent or your spouse or what have you, you have no other choice at this point, then it would be okay to have to shoot somebody in defense of yourself or others.
So I know as a former police officer, we had to go over the law of when to use excessive force.
Right.
That's what it's called, excessive force. And you have to be in imminent danger.
Correct.
And serious bodily harm and imminent danger. So is the lawful conceal and carry similar to that?
Very much so. We cover all of that in our course. We go over what we call law and legal.
That's awesome.
Yes, and we tell them, you give them different scenarios. For example, if this situation was something you could have walked away from, could have been avoided, it could have been de-escalated. But if you were backed into a corner and had nowhere else to run to, and the only thing you could do is basically shoot your way out, then that would be your defense. Not to say, we've seen cases go awry in court. I'm not saying every time it's going to be a get out of jail free card or what have you. Right. But they're going to look at the situation and they're going to look at the type of person you are, your background, if this is something that you've been that's premeditated or what have you. I think that one important thing that comes out of this class is your mindset changes. So I could even speak, I've seen people who, once they have a gun, they think they're invincible. Oh, I wish somebody would mess with me. Or, because they think this gun gives them superpowers.
Yeah.
But I think that after taking this class, you start thinking along the lines of, is it worth it? Because if I pull this gun, I'm gonna have to get arrested. I might have to fill out some paperwork. I might have my gun taken into custody by the police, questioning, legal fees, all of these things. Is it really worth it? No, I'm just gonna walk away from this situation. It's not worth it.
It's amazing you said that. Recently I graduated from the Citizen Police Academy of Prince George's County Police Department, and we actually had that simulation in the class where citizens, and I think every citizen should take this class, because citizens got to actually hold, not a real weapon, but a training weapon, right? And actually determine whether they had a right to use that gun.
Right.
And for them to actually experience that, they had a whole different mindset and experience on what it takes, to actually use a weapon.
Right.
And so, and like you said, once you go through that experience and that mindset,
it'll make you stop and think before that impulsive reaction.
Exactly. I might actually have to take that course again, right? Your course.
Definitely. Come on through anytime.
Come on through and let you actually see and experience what the course is like. But also, with that in mind, you have a testimony as well, right?
I do, always.
What you want to share with us?
Well, this is my woe factor.
This your woe factor, come on. So the woe factor basically is, what is your wow originality? What is that thing that sets you apart and make you different?
Well, different, and then I'm pretty sure everybody says this, but it's my authenticity, me just being me. I'm energetic. I'm always happy. I'll say happy-go-lucky. I don't let anything bring me down. Everything is a happy feeling. I might not be where I want to be in life, but I'm sure enough not where I used to be. I've been brought this far, right? I am blessed to have air in my lungs. I'm blessed to walk on my own 2 feet without any assistance of a crutch or a wheelchair or a walker or what have you. I'm blessed to have a healthy family. I'm blessed to still have my mother in my life.
That's
so so there's nothing to be angry at. Every day I get up and I say thank you.
But I want to comment on what you just said. You're right. I've had experience to know you outside of the studio, and you are a ball of energy. We're talking about a serious topic right now, but you are a ball of energy. Always look happy. Always is full of energy, and always wanting to encourage others.
Thank you.
I mean, we're talking about some good stuff, how we feel today. But there was a time when we didn't always feel this way. Let's get real.
I didn't.
And so if you had to talk to your old self, your younger self, 15 years ago on the VIP telephone, pick up that line.
Let me call.
Call her. Talk to her. Come on in. Do you know your old phone number?
It's the same number.
It's the same number.
It's the same number.
Okay, call the number. Okay, let's go. There you go. Talk to her.
Hey, girl, hey. Listen, I'm telling you, be specific in your prayer. Whatever you want, career, relationship, life. Tell him what you want. Be specific in your prayer. There's no point in lying because it's only you and him. When you tell him what you want, you're going to just get just that. I said, Lord, I want this job. This job is for me. I feel it in my spirit. I know that. He made it happen. I said, Lord, I want this type of husband. He made it happen. Lord, I want this type of healthy lifestyle. He made it happen. But the only reason it happened is because you told him exactly what it is you wanted. So don't gibber and jabber. Don't try to, beat around the bushes with it. Be direct. This is a direct line.
It's a direct line.
It's a direct line. Prayer is your direct line to God.
So what would you tell her how to overcome the challenges? Because we're saying a lot of the great stuff because we're looking at where we are today.
Hold on, girl.
Yeah.
No, I would definitely tell myself, it's going to be scary. It's going to be scary. I started out as a single mom. And everything that I did, it was like, I just want to make sure that my daughter has. I don't want her to go without because I'm a single mom. I want to provide for her. And a lot of that was scary. And you have to tell yourself why you're doing this. What is your purpose? And my purpose was always this child, my little mini me, right? And it was times it was hard, and I don't know how much time you have, but I remember coming home from grad school one night, and she showed me that she learned how to write her name. Oh. And my mom taught her how to write her name. And I fell to my knees crying. And my mom said, why are you crying? I said, because I wanted to be the one to teach her to write her name. I wanted her to be left-handed like me. And I didn't do it because I'm so busy going to school 3 nights a week and working every day, working 2 jobs. And my mom said, my mom said, that's okay. You sacrificing this now so that you have time for her later. And it's simple words like that, having that village around you, and then knowing that, God wouldn't put me through all of this for not to come out on the other side on the positive,
And that's what I see. You're in the community. You're helping so many people, even on your job, and not just conceal and carry, but what you do in your career. And I see you all the time, pouring into others and helping other people succeed as well.
Thank you.
That's another reason why I invited you. You can hang up. You want to hang up?
I'll call you back.
That's really good. Adding value, identity, and purpose. And we were talking about, you were also, do you teach women defensive training as well?
Not so much like self-defense or karate or crazy or anything.
But we were talking about staying strong though, right?
So in our course, we just give them some knowledge, some common sense pointers like how to avoid situations, not walking through a dark alley or not being distracted by your phone when you're walking by yourself.
Oh, okay. Let's talk about that. So a lot of people, you will see them at the gas station or out talking on their cell phone.
Yes. And that's not, first of all, you shouldn't be on your phone at the gas station. That's a whole nother story in itself. But you should definitely be making eye contact. So my thing is, if I'm walking somewhere, I'm looking at the person coming towards me because I want to make sure that you see me, seeing you, seeing me, so that if I have to describe you later, I will. I'll have maybe not all of the details, but I will remember what I saw. And that in turn would make the threat less less intrigued to attack you because
Exactly.
she saw me, she saw my face, you know. Thinking about how you carry certain things, like if we carry our purse, we like to carry crossbodies, and that's safer, but carry it in front of you versus carrying it behind you, right? Or how you carry your handbag.
So you're saying the handbag should not be over your shoulder?
No, you can carry, if you had a shoulder handbag, that's fine, but you need to be having it secured, not
Secure
something
close,
where somebody's
okay.
going to be, oh, that's an easy target, I could snatch it and run.
Right.
And then also, even like I always talk about sitting in a restaurant and being aware of your surroundings, not only of who's in the area, but in case there were an emergency.
Yes.
Where's the nearest exit, right? So if I know that this is the exit I came through, and if we do like role playing or what have you, if somebody was to come through that door right now, what would be my plan to survive, to go into survival mode? Well, I'm guessing everybody's going to run through the front door because that's the door that we came through. My mindset is, let me find another exit where it's less traffic. So I know that in every restaurant, the kitchen has what's called an egress because that's where they make the deliveries.
So you have so much to share. So what I have to, I guess my advice would be, I would encourage folks to take the class, to learn more about gun safety.
And it's fun.
To learn more, and it is fun,
Yes.
right? To learn more about how to protect our youth, and then how to protect ourselves as well, right?
Correct.
In these days we're living in.
Definitely.
And so with that in mind, guess what? Here, remember we talked about these stretch bands right here.
Okay.
Because you
do
work
some
out in the
exercise.
gym.
I do.
Right?
I do.
So we have these stretch
Oh.
bands because we're talked about, right, it's a VIP stretch band. Yes, you
see.
can have the VIP stretch band.
Okay.
And people think that you have to go to the gym and train like an athlete to be fit. But you can actually get fit with a simple band. And we were talking earlier,
About
you were
your
saying that women just maintaining our strength and our health helps us with defending ourselves as well.
Definitely.
Even if we don't have to fight physically
I
and
might
punch.
need to outrun, or I might need to just be able to push off.
Yep. And so we're going to talk about some upper body safety. Come on, let's do this right now.
Okay.
Upper body strength, not safety. Upper body strength. I have women tell me all the time. So I wish I would have worn my tennis shoes like you, but we're going to do this, right?
Might be
And so,
Instagram. Okay.
And so we're going to just do some. Look at those body. You got strong body. Let's do some bicep work right here. Just up. Let's go.
I'll be sure to tell my personal trainer / husband.
Bicep. Come on. Bicep. So why is it important to have strong arms? Like you said,
Like
to
you said,
push.
to be able to push off.
Yeah.
To be able to get a head start. If you have to punch, you have
Yeah,
to swing,
yeah.
what have you.
Yeah.
You have to choke.
Yeah,
You
come
have
on
to
now.
gouge somebody's eyes out. Whatever it takes.
Wow.
I need to live
fight
and tell the story.
Exactly. So that's just one exercise we can do, but there's so many more. And so I just want to thank you for coming onto this program.
That was fun.
And you're so proper.
That was fun.
Let me be proper like you're my VIP stretch band. Because the ladies always, you're over 40 and I'm over 60. I'm in my 60s, right? And even over 40 with a child, in my 60s with children, we can still be fit and gain upper body strength by working out with a simple band as well. You can take it on the job, you can put it in your purse. And thank you so much.
Thank you. Thank you for having me.
I appreciate it. So you guys heard it here. Arie Baker Fox, right?
Yes.
And what's the name of your company again?
Amazing Affairs.
Amazing Affairs. Are you going to say it with me? VIP in the DMV?
Yes.
VIP in the DMV. Value, identity, and purpose. And again, Arie, VIP in the DMV.
Value, identity, and purpose.
Oh, rock it again. Come on, I love it. VIP in the DMV. Value, identity, and purpose. Until next time, remember, you are valuable, you have a unique identity, and God have an amazing purpose just for you. God bless you. VIP in the DMV. Value, identity, purpose. VIP in the DMV. Value, identity, purpose. I'm special, unique, one of a kind. Truly made by divine design. Doesn't matter what they say, doesn't matter what they do.